Hello, welcome to Jack and Nick Horror Show.
Yay!
Hey, I'm Jack.
I'm Nick.
All right, now if you're listening to this, well, obviously you are. This is not the commentary yet. If you're new to this game, what we do is we set up the movie which we're going to watch tonight for Christmas, and it is Gremlins from 1984. Just in case
You should mention we're hang on.
Wow.
We're actually a podcast, but tonight we're doing a commentary, is what we should say.
Yeah. We're normally a podcast, but we're doing a commentary. So if you downloaded this episode called Gremlins Commentary, that's the one. However, the way Nick and I do this is we kind of do this thing where we tend to go off subject while we're watching a movie. So you can listen to it. If you know the movie, you can listen to it in your car. You don't have to watch it with the movie. But what we do like to do is we like to set up people so that they can make their own copy of our commentary on whatever format they want to use, or just listen along if they're watching a movie. It's your choice. You got choices. We give choices. Dick, Gremlins, 1984.
Yeah.
You saw this.
As a child.
As a child. Did you see it in the theater?
No.
You did not?
No, I saw it on videotape and or on HBO or something, and it scared me a little. But I also loved Gizmo as a child. I was a small boy.
Huh. Really?
It's actually one of the first horror movies I ever saw, along with Night of the Creeps, which I shouldn't have seen at the age I saw it. So anyway,
do you want to
Gremlins.
Do you want to know something crazy?
You saw this in the theater with your mom and dad and brother.
I sure did. At the Springfield Theater. Same place I saw the other commentary movie we did, which was Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. But I saw that with my brother. Here's a weird bit of trivia. I bet you didn't know this. Guess what movie came out the same day this came out in the theaters?
Ghostbusters.
You got it. Good guess.
Oh my! I was like 1984 movie.
Yeah.
The only one that I could name off the top of my head.
And the weird thing is how our memories work, because I remember seeing this. We went for Father's Day to go see Gremlins, and my brother had the book for it. See, this isn't what we're going to do on the commentary, so I'm going to get this out of the way. He had the novelization of it, and he told me, oh man, it's going to be really good, scary, and all this kind of shit. But right when Ghostbusters came, like I saw Ghostbusters right after I got out of 4th grade. My friend Matt and I went to the Bazaar of All Nations in Clifton Heights, Pennsylvania to go see this movie. And I fell in love with Ghostbusters. Fell in love with it, and we know where we went from there. Then I went to see Ghostbusters again with my family, right? Now, here's the weird thing. This is how my memory works. I always thought the Gremlins had come out before Ghostbusters, like at another time, like in spring or late summer or some other time, because we didn't go see Gremlins until like maybe, I want to say 3 weeks, 4 weeks after Ghostbusters, and 3 to 4 weeks by somebody who is, I guess around 7 or 8 years old. That's like an eternity.
Oh, yeah.
So when we went to see Gremlins all that time later, that theater was mobbed. There were tons of people in the theater. Tons of them. But it was just odd. I don't know. Do you ever get those memories there? You're like, no, this happened exactly on this. And then it's like, nope, that didn't happen then. When you're little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your brain makes up half of the shit you remember anyway.
That's true. So I should have kept the journal like they told me to do in school, but
nah. I always wanted to, like Doug the cartoon, but I never did.
Yeah, but then if you look at it, you're going to look at your stupid. Anyway, go ahead. Yes,
we got to start the movie.
Yeah, we're going to start the movie.
Explain how.
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to start the movie. Now, if you have the DVD of Gremlins, which both myself and Nick sort of do, I guess, is right after the Warner Brothers logo fades to black, that's where we're going to start the commentary. We don't want to start it like right at the very beginning because it's going to confuse the shit out of you where we're talking about shit that's not happening if you're watching along with the movie. So right after Warner Brothers logo disappears, it's going to go da 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 da, and then it fades, sound fades, it's fade to black, and then it comes back up, and that's where we're going to start. The actual, on the DVD, the second marker is on 13 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, before we do this, I'm going to leave a brief pause for those who want to delete all this bullshit that Nick and I just gave to you, so that you can cue it up exactly with the DVD if you're using editing tools. Nick, are you ready for the 5 seconds of silence?
Yes.
Okay. After 5 seconds of silence, that's when we're going to hit play. Okay.
We're not going to do a countdown?
We can. But we're going to do we're going to do 5 seconds of silence and then a countdown, and then we'll hit play. All right? Are you guys ready?
Okay.
Are you girls ready?
I'm ready.
Are the dogs ready? Okay. All right. We're going to go. Okay. Now, we're going to go on 3. Okay? And that's on 3. 1, 2, play. Okay? Like that. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now we're fading up, and there's a bunch of people walking around.
Right.
We are very informative with our commentaries. Now,
here they are. What's that?
That is Hoyt Axton. Hoyt Axton has the coolest voice in this whole movie. Wouldn't you like to hear Hoyt Axton like read you everything?
Yeah, like anything.
I just love the man's voice. I know he's passed away since, but and now that kid is not Data from Goonies. A lot of people think that.
Right.
It's not. I'm just.
Is he short? Is he short round?
Or short round? No, he's not short round either. That was Data. Whatever the kid's name, I can't remember. So, now, we're not going to tell you too much about this movie that you already know because there are tons of commentaries, especially Joe Dante is on this DVD that we're watching right now. His commentary is one of the best commentaries to ever listen to because the man loves talking about his movies and he knows everything about his movie. Now, there are a couple of things I'm going to point out that Joe Dante did not because I'm an asshole like that. But Nick, I'm going to point out stuff that you don't care about either. Are you drinking, Nick?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
So, do you wish that they still would have a bathroom buddy?
You mean his little tool here?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks very 80s in construction, does it not?
Mm-hmm. But you got your toothbrush, you got your toothpaste, you got your toner.
I wonder if there are people who travel a lot who actually have something like this, but it's like a small compact tool that looks really cool.
Oh, you mean like a Swiss Army knife?
Yeah, no, I mean like a bathroom buddy here. Look at it.
I know. It would be cool, but you know, it would only last for like about a week. You can't really brush with that. Right? I mean, if you hold that giant thing in your hand and try to brush your teeth, you can brush your teeth.
Yeah, absolutely. You try and put any part of that in your mouth, and it's just like weird. Obviously, look at him.
Yeah,
messed. I wonder what they use in place of toothpaste.
That was semen. They used semen.
Shut up.
No, they did.
Yeah. Oh man, I wonder if there were people with actual professions like this, like back then, before semen? There was like. Well, now, no. I mean, like, going around handing out, their card, talking about their inventions. Yes. Like now we have Shark Tank.
Yeah,
and they go on Shark
Tank. That's where
they
are. They're still around. Yeah. The Shark Tank. The guy developed the ring, and on the Shark Tank. Now,
can I tell you the one thing I really don't like? Well, I'm sorry. You want to give a real point?
No. Go ahead.
Okay. My stupid point is, this is my least favorite part of the whole movie.
What?
Because it's such a, like, really lazy setup to the whole story that, like, the whole premise is just like, oh, mysteries of the Orient. You know, it's so, like, pulpy. It's very silly.
Well, that's
and
the point.
I don't mind pulpy. I don't mind silly. And it's obviously, like, plays on, like, these old type of you know, just like pulp ideas that, like, oh, these mysteries from the East, you know.
Right.
And it's obviously problematic in the year 2019, and you can't do stuff like that anymore. But you get what I'm saying. It's just, I feel like in tone, this part is so strange compared to the rest of the movie. It just, I don't know. It's really outlandish and weird. Maybe he made it all up, though. Maybe he's just an unreliable narrator, and he's like, yeah, I went to this weird shop in Chinatown, and really just found.
Yeah, but that doesn't explain how the dad shows up at the end of Take the.
Oh yeah.
Unless he paid him off.
you know the movie. See, it's like Big Fish, the movie Big Fish, Tim Burton movie, where, like, the dad makes up all these stories, but then at the end they were true. Oh wait, I just spoiled Big Fish for all the people who didn't see that one.
Ruined it.
Anyway, I don't like this one scene. It's not like it's even a bad scene. It just is like, here we are in this other movie, and then soon after he returns home to his movie.
Well, the weird thing is, you know, it's odd because this was also around the same time as Temple of Doom.
Right.
So this was like a big deal because, don't forget, we also had the Karate Kid very around this time. It was like the Asian explosion at the time.
Right.
There was a lot of stuff happening.
But in this movie, it's like the Asian excuse.
Yeah, of course. But, all right, now this guy I want to mention, Rockin' Ricky Rialto. You know who that is, right?
No idea.
Okay, you remember Death Race? The original Death Race?
Oh man, are you going to tell me it was the reporter from Death Race?
That's Rockin' Ricky Rialto, yes.
As soon as you say it, I can hear it in his voice. I had no freaking idea whatsoever.
And because Joe Dante got to start with Roger Corman, so that's his ode. Like, this whole movie is an ode to, obviously, the movies of the 50s and also Roger Corman movies.
Right. Well, I mean, you're going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, this song, with this whole entire opening with all the kids and stuff, it's like, this is Christmas to me.
I was going to say something completely different.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
That this is the same movie set as Hill Valley in Back to the Future.
And also...
So it takes place in the same town. Look at that.
Yeah. It's also... whatchamacallit? It's a Wonderful Life.
Really? And
Merry
probably like
Christmas
30...
Emporium!
It's probably also like 30 other movies.
Oh, yeah. I believe it burned down since.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't exist anymore. Sorry, people.
So this is just like they painted that snow on.
Yes.
Man, that must have been a real pain. Imagine just like sitting out there with the hose that sprays the fake paint on the trees. Oh, my God.
Now, I think Zach Galligan is like the perfect straight man or straight young man in this movie.
Yes, definitely. You know, he's almost like and I mean, I know that they were both around at the same time in the 80s, but he's almost like Fred Savage grown up.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, he really is.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got, he's got, I guess girls liked him or whatever, but you notice the name Kathleen Kennedy right there, who is still...
Is that Star Wars
Kathleen Kennedy? Yes, it is.
The producer of those movies now. Now, here's a dude who just died. Did he die last year or...
Last year, yes. Dick Miller. That guy, Dick Miller, who's also in tons of Roger Corman movies and every single Joe Dante movie. He played the mayor in Piranha, the original Piranha, not the 3D.
Right. He was even wasn't he the pizza delivery guy in that movie Holes, or was he a bigger part in that? I can't remember.
In Holes? I never watched Holes.
No, the one that we watched back on the old podcast where there was like a hole in the ground. Not Holes, the Shia LaBeouf.
The Hole.
The Hole? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Singular hole, not
Joe Dante's Hole. So we kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A boy's life.
He was in a lot better movies than Hole.
But he was not in A Boy's Life, the movie that
No.
was renamed to E.T. when it
Yep,
came.
right there. That's where what's his name yelled "crazy drunk drivers" from Back to the Future.
See?
And then right there is where Marty was on the skateboard, and right over here on the left is where we're just gonna talk about Back to the Future.
Look at that Burger King. Wow.
I wish they still look like that. I love that sign.
If you saw a Burger King like that now, you'd shit. Like, just like you go
Well,
someplace.
after eating there, I would, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, no, you'd be like, what the hell is that Burger King? Because they all look like, all these fast food places nowadays look like these weird boxes and stuff.
Yep. Now, this is the weird part. So Phoebe Cates, everybody knows Phoebe Cates. Well,
Yes.
if you grew up in the 80s, of course, you knew Phoebe Cates very well. So when I saw this in the theater, I had just recently saw her breasts.
Not personally,
Not personally, no.
but you along
but
with
in
millions
Fast,
of other. Yes.
yes. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Why is she in this movie? Didn't she? Because this is the thoughts of a young little boy. He's like, I saw her boobies.
Right.
And I couldn't
then
get
you
that out of
can't-
my mind.
Exactly. You can't stop thinking about it because
Yeah.
you are a hormonal
Like
child.
right now, I'm still looking at her boobs. And I'm
Stop
like,
it.
I can't.
She's dressed like she's on Little House on the Prairie. Like, did women dress this way in the 80s? I don't remember. I was too young.
Older women. Now, here comes Polly Holliday from Alice, who used to say, kiss my grits.
Yeah.
The show Alice, if you ever watched Alice.
I did. I used
Which
to watch
was-
it all the time.
You know, it was based on a Scorsese movie.
Which movie?
Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
It's really based
Aha.
on.
It is. It's based on that.
Oh.
Yes. It sure is. Okay. So, I want your dog.
Dude, it's really his fault. I mean, he brought his dog to work at a bank. I'd be really mad if my coworker brought in their dog. In fact, one time my
Well-
coworker brought in their dog, and I was like, "I'm allergic to your dog. I hate you."
My girlfriend
Starting
brings
now.
her dog to work.
Well,
and-
tell with
and
her.
They all love her. Well, everybody loves my dog because he's hypoallergenic. So, put that in your pipe and smoke it,
All right.
even though you don't smoke.
No, I don't.
This woman was in something, but I can't remember. I'm not gonna.
Do you know what though? She plays. This is what's her name here? Old lady, Mrs. Dinkle.
Polly Holiday.
No, what's her real name? The character name.
Her character name is her real name is Polly Holiday. Her character name is Mrs. Deagle.
Man, she's like a really fantastic, maybe top 5 Christmas ruining character. I mean, obviously she's behind the Grinch,
Oh yeah,
but
she plays evil very well.
yeah, I feel like
I
it's
want
real.
your dog.
I'm gonna cook that doggy. Man,
Barney. I want your dog.
it looks like everyone here is wearing a wig, even the dog.
For those
all-
listening, hashtag I want your dog. Sorry. Now the fun part is when Judge Reinhold comes up. Now the weird thing is that Judge Reinhold in his film, there's that other shot, or there's another scene in this movie where he's locked in prison, because I saw it in the novelization, like they had a picture of it, and I said that never happened in the movie.
That sounds weird.
It's part of the deleted scenes, yes. Oh, my heart.
Seriously, what is that dog doing in here? This part.
Well, he didn't have anybody to dog sit at home, and he figured he could hide it underneath the desk and nobody would see it.
See,
But she is the piece of shit that antagonized the dog because she said, I want your dog.
I disagree. The dog should not be there. Every time I watch this movie, this becomes a big topic of conversation in my home, and it's because that dog should not be there.
Now, and you know who
accurate.
this old man is, yes?
That one on the
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
No.
That's Chuck Jones.
Really?
That's the Chuck Jones, yes. The
Weird.
creator of Bugs Bunny. Uh-huh. So, yeah, I thought Judge Reinhold in this and Beverly Hills Cop was the coolest, and Fast Times. And I'm like, that's right. That's what else I want. I'm like, Judge Reinhold saw Phoebe Cates' boobs in real life. And then they're in a movie together. Do they always work together? Or are they boyfriend and girlfriend? These are things that go through my mind when I'm little. What's wrong with me?
God. It's been like 20, 30 years and you're still talking about it. How long ago did this movie come out? 35 years as of 2019 here?
Yeah. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't feel like that old of a movie, but I guess it's because I am now a really old human that's happening, huh?
Yep. Yeah. Almost half this cast are dead.
Oh, dude.
Oh, kidding.
You gotta drop that on me right here. Do you know who that old dude is?
Yep. That was Grizzly. No, that's Grizzly Adams.
I have no idea who that old dude was.
He's probably somebody, and I'm not gonna be that guy. I mean, yes. I'll be that guy once in a while, but
you've already been that guy.
I've been that guy, but you know what? Times. You learned something kind of awesome about Rick Rialto, so blow me.
I did.
This here, where the little sword comes down, is a cool setup for later, which is kind of great. But just the ambient sounds of all of this reminded me of actual Christmas time. You know what I mean? Like, you're just going into the house, it's quiet, your mom's in the kitchen. You know,
there's the Burger King.
Burger King, yep.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Because, Christmas time sounds different. And in a way, this is a better Christmas movie than Die Hard. Yeah, actually, in every way, this is a better Christmas movie than Die Hard.
But they're if you hear a dog bark, I want your dog. That's my dog downstairs in the.
Oh, awesome!
Barking.
I thought it was a dog in the movie for a second. Like, it didn't even faze me, and now I realized. All right, what other movie does she play the mom in?
Oh, do you want me to tell you?
Like
Footloose.
17 other movies.
She's in Footloose. She's also in Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
Stand By Me.
But only mom roles. Only name mom roles.
She's very good at it, though.
You know, she is also involved in my favorite part of the movie that comes later. Was that knocking in the movie or in your house? With your
that was in the movie.
Da, 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 da. Here's a sword that fell down. It fell down for some reason.
Do you have something like that in your house that just falls down all the time?
Yeah, every goddamn thing in my house.
Yeah.
But it's not setting up like a future thing where, gremlins get killed with it or some shit.
Keep going. I'll be right back. Keep going.
Man, it's going to be really great. Like, the whole movie, this is one of those movies where everything goes crazy later on, and you have to watch the beginning of the movie and all the opening bit again for the 100th time to get to the crazy part that comes later on. It's almost like a disaster movie in its pacing because of that. And I enjoy that because I feel continuous anticipation as I watch. Like, yes, these gremlins are going to ruin the town. If you've never seen Gremlins before and this is your first time watching it, sorry, I spoiled maybe a third of this movie. But the Gremlins destroy the town. And here comes...
Apologies for that.
Hang on.
I know.
Here comes... It's
Howie Mandel.
No, well, I mean, yes, but also it's a fuzzy baby Yoda.
Yes, that's true. It is a fuzzy baby Yoda. You know that she was also Mrs. Riley, Deputy Riley, and from Scream, Rose McGowan. What's Rose McGowan's name in Scream? Tatum.
Hmm.
She's the mom.
Her?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she is.
Here comes, you gotta pick up that baby. Yeah. I mean, that's what you would do with a baby Gizmo. Don't you almost wish that Gizmos were real, except for the whole gremlin part?
Oh, completely. Yeah.
Now, the dog just licked him on the ear. Isn't that getting him wet?
Well, yes.
There are so many in this movie, aren't there?
Yeah, but who cares? It's a goofy creature movie.
I know.
And it's adorable.
I know.
By the way, my apologies in advance. I will be laughing a lot when the gremlins show up because I think they're cute and funny too.
It's okay.
I actually get sad when they die.
Oh, another fucking movie I gotta watch with you where you get sad that the monster dies.
Dude,
Every fucking movie.
They're just trying to wreak havoc all over the place. That's all they're trying to do.
Yeah, but there's
have fun.
Like the rules of this movie, they clearly don't even give a shit. This here,
nah.
Everything that he's explaining. Don't get them wet. Don't feed them after midnight. Because then it's like every second of the day is after midnight. Like, how does it work? And nobody knows. Nobody can explain it because it's stupid. You know? Right. It's like if he stays up after midnight, you can't feed him. You know?
Right. Well, he makes fun of that
keyboard that every person in the 80s.
Casio keyboard, yes. I had one. I couldn't play shit on it.
I had one. Me neither.
I was just really happy
just
about
put it on an auto.
Yeah, me too. That's what I was about to say. You know, the makers of this movie hated Gizmo with a passion. And they actually did look forward to hanging him on the dartboard and throwing darts at him. Because he created, just the animatronics of it just created so many long days and just everything was a pain in the ass with them. Like shooting everything was a pain for them. That's what they say. Speaking of crew and stuff, do you know who else applied voices to the Gremlins? These are all those fun trivia questions.
It was no, I don't know. I was going to say what's his name from Faith No More, but it's not him. Is it?
No.
He didn't start doing voice acting stuff till like the 90s.
No, but he's another 80s icon, Michael Winslow from
Michael Winslow,
Police Academy. Yes, the voice guy.
Yes, the voice guy. In case you don't know who he is, and if you don't know what Police Academy is, he's a guy who like makes siren noises and stuff. He also does it in Spaceballs. Maybe you've seen Spaceballs. That guy making the weird bloop noises at the radar screen. That's a him.
I'm not gonna gush too much, but I'm gonna gush. Yeah, this him with the little yawn and stuff. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, like, this whole movie is actually like a perfect movie. Like, I mean, like, yeah, I don't like the opening scene or whatever, but it is totally a perfect movie. This movie, and I would even say the second one is a perfect movie too. And it's just like everything in the movie. It's such a simple, stupid, fun story that it's just fun. It doesn't even care about its own, rules, because it's just like, fuck it, we're just gonna have fun. Mm-hmm. And I feel like in movies these days they do not generally do that, especially because if you break any of the rules of your own movie, you will be like destroyed for it forever. Oh, yeah. And that scene obviously is ridiculous. Everything in this movie has like a ridiculous element to it. Like, yeah, that's kind of where the opening scene really fits. But here it's like someone who comes to your house to deliver a tree is dressed as a tree. You want a freaking orange thing? No, it blows up in your face. Everything has that element of ridiculousness to it.
And at the same time, I'm sitting there going, wait a minute. He saw a bunch of kids get killed in Friday the 13th, Part 4.
No.
Like, well, this is an all-star cast.
Young Tommy Jarvis.
There's the Road Warrior poster in the background. Now, there's something else. It'll probably come up later. There's somebody else that's in this film that was supposed to play Han Solo. It's a true story. I'll point him out later. And you're going to say, no way.
Is it that guy? Is it the Gizmo?
No, it's not. No. He's an actual actor in this movie. So, Corey Feldman is the blame for this entire movie, actually.
What?
He's the blame. He's the one you blame.
What do you mean? Like, explain this sentence.
He's the one to blame for the entire events of the film.
You mean within the film? You said he's to blame for the whole movie. I thought you meant he's to blame for the plot.
He's to blame. He's the, what is it? The MacGuffin? Is that what they call it now?
Yes. Well, no. The MacGuffin is like the thing you're looking for.
Right. Well,
he's
the glass of water.
Yeah.
And it's like, oops. I just knocked this glass of water over. Oops.
Chekhov's glass of water.
Good times. But if it weren't for his clumsiness, we would not have a movie. So thank you, Corey. Thank you so much.
But, like, how do you bait? You see, you can't even think about it, because if you think about it for, like, 30 seconds, it's just like, shut up and watch the movie.
Well, maybe it's like cats. You know how cats, some of them you can't bathe because they're like, fuck you. So they clean themselves with a tongue. And, like, maybe it's not that kind of water because it's saliva, so it's not water. And that's probably why the dog could lick his ear and he didn't do this.
I have no idea.
See, I'm debunking all of your bullshit.
No, but I mean, that's exactly it. Is like, you think about it, and it's like any explanation is too stupid
Conan
to actually accept.
Comics. I had that comic book. Yep. True story. I used to collect comic books before they were cool. I'm a hipster. This dog is goddamn adorable, too, I gotta say. That dog is still alive.
No. It's definitely not. It would be like 800 years old in dog years, right?
That's fine. I love Stripe. You know what's fucking weird about this movie, too? So there's this is another side note about my life, but whatever. So I was playing a movie trivia game with my friends back in the 90s, right? It was a card game. And one of the questions was, what is the leader of the Gremlins' name? And he said, I didn't even look at the answer because I knew the answer. And he goes, Spike. And I go, wrong. It's not Spike. He's like, yeah, it is. It's Spike. He goes, turn the card around. I said, I turned the card around. It said Spike. Yeah. I nearly shit myself. And I'm like, no, his name is Stripe. And he goes, no, it's Spike. And we had an argument for that the internet wasn't around then. We had an argument all night long. And I said, seriously, and I didn't have Gremlins at my disposal at my friend's house. They just didn't have it. I had it at my house. I said, I'm going to get this movie, and I fast forward it to when Billy says, it's Stripe. I said, see? It's Stripe.
Yeah, I thought it was Spike for the longest time, and then it was, Stripe. Have you ever heard of the Mandela Effect?
Yes, I have. Yep.
It's exactly what we were talking about before, about that your brain conflates your old memories and mixes things up and just fills in the blanks on what it can't remember. And that's what leads to what's called the Mandela Effect, where people have alternate memories of the same thing, such as Spike versus Stripe, right?
I had the figure for Stripe, and it said Stripe on it.
Right. And yet the game said Spike. You know what I mean? And I remember it being Spike. But and you wonder why. And it's like, because there was so much shit in the 80s that was named Spike, like the character in Transformers or other things. You probably just put that, your brain just like puts that in there, like it misfiles it. There's no way to defragment it.
Not
it's so weird.
not jizz.
Oh, God damn it. Dude, when I was a kid, there were so many movies that had like workshops and gadgets. I don't understand why it was such a trope, because there's like this movie
My
and like
basement had one.
no, I'm talking about like, not just like a workshop where you work on things, but I mean like I just assumed at some point I would have the opportunity to be an inventor in my basement and just like have a crazy idea and go build it. And I mean, the other movies that had that type of stuff was like The Goonies, and even up until like Wayne's World with like Garth had stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I just assumed that one day it would be my time, and it definitely never happened like that.
No way.
No, I never invented a goddamn thing.
I thought you were an inventor. Oh, wow.
Actually, that's not true. One time I invented an ice hat, but I never followed up on it because I didn't have a workshop. And now the ice hat is just this thing I bring up every now and then that everybody just thinks I'm an idiot for. I should go on Shark Tank with my ice hat. So anyway, here they are sleeping in a goddamn box.
They're ridiculously adorable. It's unfair.
Man, imagine if this happened with dogs. You get them wet and you suddenly have like 8 puppies.
That would be all right. I'd be okay with that. And you'd have, like, go backwards. You'd have Bob Barker saying, "Don't get your dogs wet." Keep all liquids away from your dogs. There's a little snicker.
Right.
Ah, that poor dog. I know.
One of the things I was
mentioning... How did that poor dog get hung up, like, for real? That poor dog.
Yeah.
He's really hung up by lights. He couldn't do that today.
No, they definitely really hung up a dog in this scene for some goddamn reason. But one of the things I was saying when you were collecting your dog is that, like, this movie almost has the pacing of a disaster movie where you know that, like, in the last third of the movie, things are going to go crazy. But first you have to go through the parts that are not that crazy in order to get there. And there's this whole discovery phase. Like, I'll compare it to Jurassic Park. Like, after a while in Jurassic Park, things go insane. And after a while in this movie, things go insane. It's a brilliant pacing. And why don't they have a single real product in this house? Everything just makes like horrible. Today that would be CGI.
Yeah, and you notice the little what the hell is that thing? The thing that you peel off. What is that? The thing that's moving right there on her right hand side.
Wait, why can't I think of the name of it? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a known vegetable too.
Artichoke. Holy crap!
That's a bingo.
I almost said avocado 17 times, but it's an artichoke.
So the weird thing is, though, like you're saying with the pacing, like right now we're 31 minutes and 50 seconds in, and there still haven't been any Gremlins. And there is the man who was supposed to play Han Solo.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. He sure was. He's been in tons of movies. Glenn Turman, did you ever see, I don't know if you have, because you've seen some weird shit. JD's Revenge?
No, I never heard of it. Oh,
okay. It's a blaxploitation movie where he gets his revenge. That's all I'm going to say.
Great.
It's not good. It's terrible. But it's still watchable. But you remember him in John Dies at the End?
Is he the cop in John Dies at the End?
He's the cop in John Dies at the End.
God, I love
Remember
John Dies.
Super 8?
Yeah,
He's
barely.
Super 8. He's the guy that was trying to save the creature in the train. The doctor.
Yes, I kind of recall.
That's why they cast him in there, because they were trying to homage Joe Dante movies.
I've literally only seen that movie once.
That's okay.
I think my brain overrated it the first time I saw it, because if I really liked it, I would have seen it probably a lot more. But anyway, yes, and you do mention, okay, so this movie, we're now 33 minutes in with no Gremlins.
Yeah.
In modern times, and all horror movies,
it would have been 13 minutes.
Or even aside from that, there would have been a pre-credits sequence with like something sinister about the Gremlins, like there would have been something like a different Gremlin in olden times kills a village, and like it's a legend that the Chinese guy tells at the beginning. There would have been some sort of setup. Like they can't help themselves, and in a way, it's a way that horror movies have become very formulaic. And I think that this movie gets away with it, A, because of the time it came out, but also because it's a Christmas movie, so it does like the Christmas setup in the beginning. Another movie that did a similar thing was like Krampus. I can't recall if Krampus has a setup in the beginning and that's like Krampus is coming, or if they
it was just that
got right
the thing,
to it.
the grandmother that knew about Krampus. That's about it.
Yeah, that is actually probably in the first 15 minutes of the movie or so. But it's not. I don't think it's a pre-credits thing at all. That's like bad times are coming. Man, they used to make good Christmas movies, right, man? Like this came out, and then a couple of years later, it's like Scrooged, and there's
Scrooge,
what do you call it?
Christmas Vacation. That was
Christmas Vacation.
Home Alone. Home Alone 2.
Right, all around. Yeah, all around that 15 to 20 year period, there were all sorts of different Christmas movies. A Christmas Story was a year before this, I guess, right?
Yeah, it was like the weird thing that happened was like the late 90s, early 2000s. That's when it started to be star vehicles about Christmas. Like the Elf
I
worked.
hate that. Yeah,
Elf
Elf is definitely very good.
You got the Four Christmases bullshit, and you get all these other things, and then it's like romantic comedy and.
Right, and there's always a picture of whoever is the sitcom star or minor movie star who's playing the lead on the poster, and he's got like his mouth open, like he's yelling, like Tim Allen, like or something.
Or back-to-back people. I actually really like the Santa Claus and the Santa Claus 2. The Santa Claus 2 is kind of a really great Christmas movie, if I'm 100% honest. I don't know if you had seen it or not, but it's really good.
I have.
Yeah.
But I don't care about those movies. But
I do.
That's what I'm saying. All right, recent Christmas movies I've enjoyed: Krampus, and you know what? I was actually better than you'd expect.
Krampus was quite good. But his other movie, Godzilla King of All Monsters,
oh, God damn it.
Trick or Treat is not your favorite. I know that.
I'm telling you. Okay. You missed what I said. A recent movie that it was better than you'd expect. No. I'm telling you one. I'm telling you a different.
Please,
Krampus, I thought was going to be good, and it was good. But a recent Christmas movie that was better than you'd expect. The Grinch, the one from last year.
Oh,
Pretty
really?
Good.
I haven't seen it yet.
It wasn't like great, but it was like I watched it with my son the other day because he keeps telling me he loves it and stuff, and I watched it and I was just like, wow. This is actually pretty good. So,
speaking of Ghostbusters, watch his reaction. He sounds like Rick Moranis in Ghostbusters. Here it is, right here.
Oh my God! He did.
Hey, you were just passing, and maybe you can come over later, and your friends can, And she's like, "I'll think about it." Oh, really? Well, that's great. It's the same line, the same day it gets released. Weird. I'm not. There's no conspiracy here, people. And by the way, I hope you're enjoying this wonderful commentary with Nick and I on the Gremlins. Now here comes Han Solo. I think he would have been a cool Han Solo, honestly. He's got the good swagger.
Yeah.
Who else was supposed to play? Who else was supposed to play him? Kurt Russell was also. Really close to getting the role.
But you know what? It's like the type of thing that like we'd be like, oh yeah, that was cool, and no one else at all would agree with us,
right?
Because like we like weird actors and roles, and we're like, oh man, when that guy was the cop in John Dies at the End, he was so good, or anything like that. But other people are like, no, you idiots, Harrison Ford was fine. Shut up.
No, Harrison Ford was perfect for that role. I'll admit.
I know.
Absolutely love the Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Love that movie.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, though.
We're dumb. Yeah, we are stupid.
I'm like Richard Brake should be in every movie. I bring him up every episode now.
Richard Brake should have played one of the Mogwai. He should have played Stripe.
He could have. really could do it.
He could if you paint him green. You got it.
He could do anything. He could be the Grinch if you paint him green, dude.
Now, this is what it looks like to feed my cats.
How many cats do you have?
We got 3.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
That's what they do, and then when I grab the food, they all do that, and then they all start whispering to each other. Like, he's such a dumbass. He fell for it again.
The food man, bring it. Dude,
Now,
look at this
all that,
chicken just sitting there.
All that fried chicken's not even wrapped up. All the disease getting on it.
Oh, my God.
Man.
Did they not know about saran wrap in the year 1984?
Apparently not. No, I mean, now this is what it looks like when I eat chicken. No, it does not.
It's an unsettling close-up of their toy-like faces.
Bones thrown.
My son is 6 this year. I'm thinking about showing him this movie.
Yeah, why not? He'll be terrified.
I don't think he will, because I think
Oh wait, no, you're his dad, so yeah, he'll be.
No, not just because of that. I'm talking about it's 35 years later. He knows that these are old effects, in the same way that we would watch something in black and white, from the 50s, and be like, "That's a silly monster. That's not real."
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd be able to separate it in his brain, but I don't know. I started showing him Mr. Bean. He really likes that. That's not scary, but
no, it's not.
Mr. Bean is fantastic.
The clock on the wall said it's 2:20 a.m. while this is happening.
Right.
He really likes to work late.
Is he working?
Well, I mean, he's studying the Gremlin or the Mugwai.
Oh.
A spoiler alert for Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That movie's so goddamn good. The remakes are great too, but there goes Gizmo. He's falling asleep. I'm getting tired too.
Going into some sort of diabetic coma.
Now, here we are. We're 41 minutes into the film, and we just have the pods. We don't have the actual Gremlins yet. Still. It's all about build-up.
It's gross looking.
It kind of looks like... I'm not going to get gross. We might have new listeners. Now, here comes the dumbest line in the movie, though. Here it is. It's not, you'll see. It's coming. Here it is. well, what the fuck do you think is going on, you dumbass?
Right.
It's like, well, Billy, well, here's what's going on. You see, the plugs in the house that we have were made by your dad, and they just stopped working. They cut themselves.
Right. They were the cord cutter surplus cords. We don't know why your father invented them, but he did.
Poor
Machines of madness, I'd say.
Poor Zach. Zach Galligan, not Gilligan.
Yeah, you definitely. I thought you were joking when you said.
No, it's like that poor guy had to deliver that line straight. Now, this.
How do they?
Okay. How do they?
How do they survive off of this? I feel like the father must have invented one good thing, and they got a good patent, and that's where they got their money. Because otherwise, how do they make any money, dude? She doesn't work. She's just staying home making awesome cookies all day.
Days at home. Here comes Steven Spielberg. There he goes. He just passed by. That is not Rick Ocasek. Murakasak, however it's pronounced. Actually, I think that was, what's his name? The guy that was in Poltergeist, Marty. And that's where Marty McFly came from. The guy that peels his face off, he was a dude that worked with Spielberg and him. And they called him, his name was Marty. And they named Marty McFly after him. I'm full of all this stupid shit. Why? Why, Nick? Why? Help me.
Right.
Get it out of me.
I don't know, man. Other people, became professors or wrote books. You just know a lot of stuff, and
I just know shit.
Talk
I'm
about
recording a fucking commentary on a work night for free. Free.
Oh man, what a world! What a world!
Why? And it was. I think she is in like all of Joe Dante's movies. I think that's where I know her from. I think it was The Howling or something that she was in.
She's like, "Did you bring your dog? Because I brought my flamethrower."
I brought my flamethrower for your dog.
Here is a beating heart inside a rabbit.
I want your dog. Maybe. Oh,
Man.
I know what it was. Food of the Gods. That's what she was in. That's the one where the animals become big and eat people. It's fun. Mm-hmm. Food of the Gods 2 is good. As well. You would enjoy those movies. They're ridiculous.
I've never seen them.
Now, this film that he's watching, we actually watched in middle school.
Really?
I shit you not, yes. And I knew it by heart because I watched this movie repeatedly. And I was like, oh, here comes, this one's hard. I'm like saying it. And the kids in my class are like, what's wrong with you, geek? Like, why are you saying it? Like, I'm like, it was in Gremlins, and they're like, yeah, whatever, nerd. Yeah, I'm like, really, guys, that's not cool. But now all of a sudden, of course,
you failed all the tests.
Yeah, they probably know it by heart now because it's all cool. Finally, we have some Gremlins, and it is 45 minutes and 48 seconds into the film.
Right. And it kind of breezes by. Like, it's not like something that hangs on like forever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The scenes actually, flow very well. This is, out of all Joe Dante's movies, would you say that this is his best one?
Yeah, I would.
I would.
Because, all right, what are all Joe Dante's movies? Name them all. Holes.
Starting.
No, The Hole.
The Hole. There was The Howling. The Holing. No. What is it? Little Soldiers. He did The Burbs. He did part of Twilight Zone. He did Rock and Roll High School, which was also kind of great. Hollywood Boulevard. He did Piranha, as we mentioned. Matinee. What else? What else did he do, Nick?
I don't know. You named everything I would know.
Oh my God. There is one movie that he did, but he's not a fan of it himself, I don't think. The Looney Tunes Back in Action movie.
Oh my God.
There's a, I can't remember it verbatim, but there's a thing where he was in a meeting with the executives about that film, and one of the executives said, nobody cares who Bugs Bunny is, or something. And Joe Dante just stood up and walked out.
Man, I'm pretty sure that was the one that came out in the late 80s, right?
90s, I believe. It was the mid-90s.
I will look it up.
Maybe it was
2003.
Okay.
But you know what? That executive was probably right. Nobody cares who Bugs Bunny was anymore. I think that they've been trying to work on a Looney Tunes reboot for years, which I'm only mentioning because I guess this is a WB movie. You said Looney Tunes. We're supposed to be talking about horror movies. Whatever. Bugs
Inner
Bunny.
Space. He also made Inner Space. That's what else. Those
I'm
are the
just
big
saying,
ones.
the kids don't care about
it
anymore.
Did you ever see Hollywood Boulevard?
No.
That's another fun movie you would enjoy. It's very reminiscent of Death Race, where it changes genres throughout and it becomes a slasher movie towards the end. It's really a lot of fun. It's kind of like Terra Firma, but Joe Dante's version of it. That's the best-selling way I can give that. By the way, this is a work night for the two of us when we're recording this commentary. Yeah. This is very good.
Please.
Now, I feel bad for this poor guy, man, when he gets his hand chewed. I actually really like the teacher. I was rooting for him to live, but then, he gets the needle stuck in his ass. Did you ever like the sound of this? Did you have these projectors in school, or was that...
Yeah, it would be like an extra special day when the projector was wheeled in on the cart.
Okay, yeah, same for us. And then I would always like the sound of the projector hitting the thing when it ran out. I just liked the sound. It sounded soothing. This is useless. Why am I even saying this? Okay.
Did they say what the needle was that killed him, or is it just like it killed him?
No. I think he was killed, and then the gremlin just put the needle in his ass because, remember, he was taking blood from the gremlin. So it's just like, fuck you, or I just killed you, and also fuck you. I'm going to put this needle in your ass. The hand is adorable.
Man.
I absolutely love... Dude, I wish I could have gremlins. I mean, I kind of do with cats.
You would rather have gremlins over Mogwai?
No, I'd like to have both, but I mean, when they are doing the Christmas carols to Polly Holiday, I'm gonna have to mute my microphone.
Will you be weeping?
I will be laughing hysterically because of like their little mouths moving and they're looking down with. Now here he comes. 1, 3, 2, 1, and boom. Hey, that's a bingo. Now this part here, where he's running. Yeah.
What's that?
What is that thing? I always thought that was his tail going through there, but go ahead. This whole shot, yes. Please.
I have no idea. No, this whole shot, that was all like one shot with like the only cut way at the end there. Like in a modern horror movie, that would be like 54 cuts and a big jump scare sting right in it. Nothing laid back and fun about it, unless the guy who directed Krampus directed it. I'm gonna kill something with this knife.
Do you hear what I love this song to this scene. You smell caca.
Oh my god. Yes. You're going to ruin this commentary by just laughing at all the shit that you think is great. Oh my god.
No, but like this was like at least for myself, the first introduction to that odd juxtaposition of song that is completely opposite as to what you hear this kind of song that's that Do You Hear What I Hear, to this scene with the mom, and it's kind of brilliant. It works so well because it's like a nice Christmas song, and then but you put it into a scene where it is more sinister than what this song is about. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
And that generated a ton of laughs from the theater when I saw it.
Yeah. Now, do you generally watch this movie at Christmas time nowadays, or do you watch it like any time of year?
Every single year. I watch it around November and December too. Yeah, at least twice.
It's one of my favorites to watch around Christmas time.
And the weird thing is, this came out in June, which is just...
I absolutely hate that. I hate it when a movie that has Christmas or is Christmas themed comes out way in advance of Christmas. Or going by Gremlins time way after Christmas, because after midnight, before midnight. Anyway, it just didn't come out around Christmas is my point.
Right.
I can't stand that shit.
Yep. One movie that's not necessarily Christmas, but there is a Christmas scene in it, is Grumpy Old Men. That one was fun. That came out during Christmas season. So.
Right. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. This movie, it's the Muppet comedy. Like, where their heads just bop around. It's funny. That's why I love my dog so much. He walks around like this. 20 years and Muppets.
Bad.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry to the listeners. I should be giving you nonstop factoids, but guess what? You can get them all from Joe Dante, and you can get them all from Adam Green and Joe Lynch and Zach Galligan on their.
Here comes my favorite.
See, that really upsets me.
Absolutely gory, ridiculous skill. And I'm happy about it, Jack. It makes me happy. It makes me feel good things.
Doesn't make me, look at those poor feet. Look at them. I love how you can see the string. It's so great.
Yeah, you could. Totally.
Yep.
Oh, she murders the shit out of him. Didn't take long.
Oh yeah, this scene here, dude. You see the other one still struggling in the background, by the way, with the knife in it. Dude, this scene here, everybody was just burf.
Right. And it's amazing that they could get that type of gore in this movie, but it was because they were like, but they're not real. They have green blood. And they were, and therefore the censorship of the 1980s, whoever was in charge said, "Oh, okay, it's just green instead of blood." Sure.
Well, that's how what's it, From Dusk Till Dawn got away with all the gore without being X'd by using the green goo.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded very pornographic. The gremlin. That gremlin in the tree is a callback to Corey Feldman being in a tree. Sorry. Sorry, people. Okay. I'm gathering.
Yeah. Hold it in. Hold it. Oh, man.
Okay. Now here it comes.
Again, this whole scene, shot with deliberate, slow moving, like far shots, showing her with the tree on top of her. Like nowadays, the horror movies would look entirely like this: close-ups of just, it wouldn't cut away to something slow happening in the background. It would just be like the knife, the gremlin, the mom, the knife, the gremlin, 56 cuts in 52 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's absolutely a shame that they haven't made another Gremlins movie in this day and age, because we could use it. Like, just the Gremlins making fun of everybody. That's kind of
I don't know, dude.
Gremlins
CGI,
2?
No.
Yeah,
CGI
Gremlins,
would. No, no.
Yeah, that's true.
They wouldn't make it right. They wouldn't. It would be like the Ghostbusters 3 of the Gremlins movies, something that's just not the same as the others.
Yep. For sure. Now, and here's the other thing that people will say: "Oh, well, the snow is wet, and he's walking around in the snow. How does he know?"
Absolutely. Like, there's got to be a melty part out there that he steps in a puddle. Yeah, whatever. You can't think about it.
Water.
You just got to turn the fucking brain off, because it doesn't make any sense, man.
No.
But There was something else I was going to... Oh, I know. I'm totally going to say. I can't believe we haven't mentioned it till now. But in the late 80s, all around the time of this movie, there was the incredible subgenre of little critter things that cause a lot of mischief and trouble while they kill people.
Definitely,
and this is by far the best of the entire fucking subgenre.
Well,
you know?
It was the first of its kind, and then you had the knockoffs. You had the Munchies, and you had what is it, Critters, and Critters 2, and Critters 3, and Critters 4. But the Critters
wasn't Hobgoblins one or something?
Hobgoblins, yes. That movie's so much fun. Munchies. That was Sloan that did that one. What was the other one? There was one where it looked like a munch. Well, remember the Munchie Cheese came out around this time too. The little monkeys that would cling onto you that looked like Mogwais.
Right.
Other one, Munchies.
I feel like we're forgetting one that is like another prominent one.
I know there's just Munchie. I know that for
no,
but I can't. Was it? There's Critters. There's Munchies.
There's Troll to some extent.
Jesus, Ghoulies. That's.
Oh my God, that's it. That's the one we were trying. Wow, we're dumb. Yeah. We're dumb. We're dumb podcasters.
We are. We're terrible. You know, somebody I know that was working on Ghoulies 2. When they were making it, they were calling it Ghoulies, and it's just like the Jaws movie. Ghoulies 2, People 0, because people were going to see it, were going to lose.
Oh, man.
It's good. When I heard that, I was in tears. It was told to me, it was like such a straight face. Yeah, that fucking movie. Ghoulies 2. Ghoulies 2, People 0. I love how he does like a little Freddy Krueger. He holds his nose.
Now, when I was a kid, this part specifically scared me a lot.
Scared the shit out of you? Yeah.
Like, I can remember, like, I saw it for the first time. I was at my parents' friend's house, and, like, it was on HBO or some shit. And at this part, I remember having to, like, hide behind the chair I was sitting on. It was like a, recliner chair, and I had to get up and hide behind it and, like, peek around the corner at it.
Wow, you were a little wimp, weren't you?
I was 3 or 4, I was like 4, maybe 5. I wasn't a grown man like you were, thinking about boobies.
I wasn't a grown man. I was actually, that's the Kingston Falls YMCA. No, I don't know. Now they just call it the Y, don't they?
I don't know.
And now, this gentleman that's coming up, everybody seems to know now.
You mean the guy in front?
The guy sitting down.
Who is Mike on Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul? Yeah.
That's where everybody knows him from. But, some of us know him from Beverly Hills Cop. Also with Judge Reinhold. And 48 Hours. Did you ever see 48 Hours?
No. Yes.
Yeah. He's the cop that gets...
Nick Nolte in that movie?
Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy, yes.
Yes, I did see that movie.
But he's been in tons and tons of movies. But he was mostly well known for Beverly Hills Cop as the right-hand man to... what's his name? In that. He was the villain in that. Mm-hmm. This line was...
Here comes some stop motion.
Yeah.
But what's great about it is it does give it like some sort of weird weight. Like they are weird, creepy guys just running around doing dumb shit, Yeah. And it went from 5 of them to so goddamn many of them.
Yes. And this is one scene that I was like, I appreciate it from seeing, and that when the Gremlins quote unquote kill them, but then when they showed up in the sequel, I'm like, God damn it, But I know Dick Miller had to show up in the sequel because Joe Dante had to have Dick Miller in all his movies. I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, just to have them die was, it just didn't seem like they were going to get killed.
Uh-huh.
But you don't see them die. I understand that, but whatever.
Right. Like, how many people do the Gremlins really kill off screen? Could be hundreds.
Could be. Goddamn foreign TVs. Goddamn foreign jacket. Goddamn foreign doorknob. Now, she just sat on the remote control. I'm pointing out this stupid stuff. Oh, wow. Okay. We're just taking a breather as far as talking here. Here it comes. Here comes the big set piece. I mean, seriously. Gremlin's driving this thing.
You've seen this movie before.
Dude, it's the funny. I could watch it. I could watch the ears. You know that the thing's being driven and they're just filming it with the gremlin's head there.
Right.
No laugh. Oh my god.
Man, I wish I wasn't scared of this when I was a little kid, because this, like, should be a movie you watch and just be like, this is awesome. There's a gremlin. They're real. Like, what? Dude, what? What does that mean? What? Like, why does he say that? There's a gremlin. It's real.
I just love watching the... I'm so sorry to the listeners. I if there's one thing that makes me laugh...
Is everybody wearing fake hair in this movie? Or did they just, like, add starch to their hair? Like, why does everybody's hair look like a stiff wig?
Because a lot of them were entertainers from yesteryear, and they all started to go bald. So, they had to wear wigs. You know that's Vincent Price is the priest, right?
Is it?
No, just fucking with you. See?
I was gonna say, is that why he's wearing a wig?
He does look like Vincent Price, though. You notice?
Hey, look, this is where the doc had to get 21 gigawatts, and here he is connecting little cords. Think about that, kids. Think about it.
What the hell is a gigawatt?
Gigawatts. Gigawatts. America.
Yeah.
Man, this is another one of those movies that was like not a kid's movie, but they merchandised the shit out of this movie to kids.
Yes, they did. I even had the Gremlins cereal.
Yeah, Gremlins cereal, toys, all sorts of action figures. Did they have? Was it either a McDonald's tie-in or a Burger? It was probably a Burger King tie-in, because Burger King is there in the movie.
Predominant. Yeah, I think there were glasses of Gremlins. I wish I had them still. My brother got the tall, like they had life-size Gremlins figures, like they were actual size. From what I understand, when I was little, things, memory, whatever. But they came in a box, like, and those things were probably about 13 inches high, maybe 14.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, he had the stripe and he had one of the regular Gremlins, and he doesn't have it anymore.
I Googled it, and I Googled Gremlins McDonald's toy, and did a Google image search, and the only thing that came up was when they had Furbies. And it's all pictures of Furbies. And it's because, they were sued, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
For the Furbies for making pretty much a toy that looked and acted like Gizmo, essentially. Although that's not really what happened. But,
I don't know if they won. Here.
I don't know.
It's coming. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, another one.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is my favorite scene in the entire movie. It's funny that she, like, she had her giant wig on earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not really paying attention too much, she kind of seems like a totally different person here.
She does.
Because, she's there with her cats and she's crazy cat lady. So.
Man, everybody wore a wig in this movie, and she's the only one without the wig on.
My apologies for the cackle that's about to happen because the cackling gremlins.
My God.
Sorry. The one that looks down, the one that has the earmuffs on, the one that's looking down and looking in.
Oh, my God. You've
Come
seen
on.
it.
I know, but it's still funny. That's what... Dude, how many movies do you know that you can still watch that are still, like, either excite you or scare you or make you laugh uncontrollably?
I don't know, dude.
Not too many. This is one of them for me.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I have actually my Christmas tree is up behind me. We put it up the other day, and we actually have a gizmo, a little stuffed one. I don't even know where he came from. I think we found it in like my old stuff from when I was a kid or something, and he's dressed up like Santa. And he's not even an ornament, and we just like stuff him in the tree on some branches every year.
I love this whole entire chaos scene. This is total horror right here.
Dude, the chaos scenes are the best thing. The best stuff in this movie is continuous, ridiculous chaos here and there.
I guess here with Santa. See, now, does your kid believe in Santa Claus, Nick?
Yeah.
Would this terrify him to see the Gremlins?
He'd probably think that was pretty funny.
Okay, cool. Now, here's the weird part of editing. Like, I'm not criticizing the movie necessarily, but they were just at the police station with Billy.
Yeah.
And now they're in a patrol car. Like, what happened with the separation of... Did Billy take Gizmo, or... Like, that's where that scene with Judge Reinhold with him being in the police station might have been.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's the weird thing. Judge Reinhold's in the beginning of the movie, then all of a sudden, never again.
I know. I've thought that before. But then again, like I said, this movie is... The answer to every question you have like that in this movie is it doesn't give a shit.
Right.
The movie does not give a shit. Mm-hmm. Like, other movies have to stop and explain all sorts of nonsense. Look at the plate on the bottom of the car that was only there so it would flip over. This movie's just like, fuck it. He's not coming back. Shut up. No, Mr. Futterman's dead.
That's true. Neither do we, Billy. But it's a movie. We understand it.
The car painted with stucco popcorn.
Yeah, see, this is the end of Ricky Rialto. Because he gets killed.
Oh, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. How many people got killed by the Gremlins? This disaster. How could you ever be sure you rounded up every last Gremlin? That could be the sequel. There you go. Gremlins 3, the one that got away.
Gremlins Unleashed.
Oh, my God.
You know who this dude is?
Are you serious? Is he someone?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
He's Clive Weinberger. You know who Clive Weinberger is?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know who he is. And somebody's going to be like, asshole, he's this guy.
And it cuts away from the chaos to just be like, we came up with another gag for the dad, so we're just going to put that here.
Now,
and then here it is.
Song in the background. is Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
And then it's also like, oh, remember Phoebe Cates? She's in this movie too, guys.
Yeah. And then she's going to depress you in a little while.
Right. For no reason.
Dude,
Like,
I would pay money to be Phoebe Cates in the scene. Just to serve a bunch of gremlins and just laugh hysterically.
oh, man.
I would have to be drunk, and then I would serve the gremlins all night.
You know what this is almost like? It's almost like when you're on a ride at like Universal Studios or Disney World and you just go from place to place. Now we're just riding. This would be the part where you're in the Haunted Mansion and you're just like going past the big party. Here he is. He shows his wang, but he has no wang. I have no wang, but I must show it. Why? And they came up with so many different gremlins here.
How much fun are they having? I mean, seriously. Right. That's why I get sad when they get killed. I'm like, they're just having a blast. They're enjoying life.
But it's completely lawless. They have no laws.
Yeah, that's true. Now, see, he got beer on him.
Right. Beer has water in it as an ingredient. I wonder if that gremlin is wearing the wig of the old lady. Anyway, he's got a gun now.
Yeah, maybe.
For God's sake, it's like things get amped up. He killed another gremlin.
The bogey gremlin.
Why? And it's like they just came up with so much stupid shit, and it's wonderful. And it's wonderful.
That's
Okay, this part's actually funny. Not just you laughing at it funny. That part makes me laugh every time, and it should.
So the
oh my God. It's like it never stops.
It never does. Gremlins 2, though, man. The shit that they do in that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they break the fourth wall with your least favorite wrestler, and
yeah.
it's quite great, though. All right.
When they came up with this, do you think that they just got like a big piece of paper and were like, write down every goofy gremlin you could possibly name, and like every Bugs Bunny gag that we could throw into this movie for Gremlins to do?
It's perfect. Funnily, the original script by Chris Columbus, I know, was extremely dark and very violent and scary.
Mm-hmm.
And Spielberg not dumbed it down, but he wanted to make it more family friendly, which I think is kind of smart on his part. I forgot to mention that during the scene with the mom, when Billy came through the door, his mom's head was supposed to be rolling down the steps.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn brutal. So then I'd be like, okay, these little fuckers can die, but I'd still love them and not want them to get burned up.
Yeah, but it also makes it a wholly different movie where it's like you can't have these like crazy fun scenes in a dark movie like that.
Right.
Like if it was just going to be insane, scary, everybody, you could really get killed by these creatures. It's not as much fun to watch them go have fun. Instead, you'd be like, these guys are assholes. Yeah. Using up the beer, and they killed Billy's mom.
We forgot to mention that Chris Columbus did write this, and his first directing gig was Adventures in Babysitting, which is quite fun movie, but he directed Home Alone, so he's all about the Christmas. Didn't he do one of the Harry Potter movies? The first one?
Dude, I couldn't possibly tell you. I'm just not IMDb enough.
I'm not IMDbing. I'm just going off my head. It happens. I'm sorry, people. My apologies.
And here, they robbed the bank.
I can't well, that's how they can afford all that booze.
Afford? They stole it. Where did they come from?
By the way, Phoebe Cates is still married to Kevin Kline.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And she quit acting.
Maybe that's why.
Here it comes. The most depressing story in...
Right.
I'm trying to figure out why this story's in here, so...
Like, this feels like a deleted scene. Because it,
really
shouldn't even be in the movie.
Right. But you remember how they totally disregard it in the second one? Where she goes, oh no, not this. It goes, oh, not this again. Come on.
Right.
That's why I'm kind of glad that they got pretty much the entire cast back for, the main character in Gremlins 2. And Billy got to be more fun. Not so much a straight man. But again, I think Zach Galligan plays the part pretty well in this. Considering you got to be Mr. Serious and what's happening?
Yeah.
But
Way too... No.
Gizmo's like, I totally understand what you're saying.
This scene always reminds me of,
What, Debbie Downer from Saturday Night?
No. I feel like there's a scene that's, similar to this in, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, isn't there?
Is there?
Where they're, running away from the clowns, and the girl just stops to tell some story.
I think it happened quite a bit in a lot of movies, actually. And they always stop to kiss, even though their lives are in jeopardy.
Right.
When did the dad take Barney?
I don't know. This movie has so much shit that's just one thing after the next. Why is this happening? Oh my god, how are these characters still in this movie?
It would be cool if, it's funny how not every, but many Christmas movies have it as snowing. It's always snowing around Christmas, but being where we live, which is the East Coast, you would expect it to happen, but it rarely does. And when it does, and then after it snows, it always rains, and it's miserable around Christmas.
Yeah, honestly, that's exactly what it's like outside today. December, it snows, and then a couple days later it rains. All the time, dude.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. But hey, the people in California and Phoenix, California just had 4 to 5 inches of snow last week.
Really?
Yeah, in Palmdale. Wow, we're dating this. Okay. Snow White and the 7 goddamn dwarves.
Yeah, good luck getting this before Christmas, everybody.
Getting what before Christmas?
This episode.
Oh, yeah.
I hope it gets out before Christmas.
No, this is going to get out. This is going to be released on Christmas. So Merry Christmas, everybody. And to those who don't celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Happy holiday. Whatever you celebrate. Not for real. I'm not Mr. Religion here. When it comes to Christmas, I'm just like, hey, it's fun with the family. I know what it's all about, but family.
If there was a Hanukkah horror movie, we'd absolutely watch it. Are there any?
There is.
What?
There's one that's coming out with Sid Haig, but it doesn't look.
No. You said there is.
Yeah, there is. It's coming out.
What? No, not
It's
it's coming out.
made.
No, that
It's
is
made.
There Will Be.
Yeah.
There's no fucking horror movie.
It's made, and it's... Stop it.
All right.
Hi-ho. Now, see, this is where I feel sad, because, look, they're just enjoying Snow White and singing along.
They're not good people. They're not.
They're not people, they're gremlins.
No, they're not good anything.
Look
Their
at that.
alignment
He's got popcorn bags on his
is
head.
evil. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. We're never going to watch this together again.
No. Oh man.
Yeah, there are like tons of notes I have for this that I want to pin out, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just having fun watching it, as everybody should. So, of course, the one has the Disney ears, or the Mickey ears.
That's because at the time, Warner Brothers movies, they would throw in like weird scenes where they would make fun of Mickey Mouse or Disney stuff.
Yeah.
Another one is in A Christmas Story during the parade. There's a part where like the witches, the witches from the movie what do you call it, Wizard of Oz, the witches monkeys beat up like, is it Mickey Mouse? I thought it was Mickey Mouse himself.
No,
but that was added into the movie as an inside joke of Warner Brothers versus Disney.
Really?
Fast forward to 2019, guys. Sorry, Disney won. Like Disney owns everything now.
Well, actually, everybody won when they made Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is kind of a masterpiece.
All right, yeah, but I mean, in general, like Disney, they won the entertainment race. It's not over yet, but it will be, and everything will be owned by Disney. We won't even call it entertainment anymore. We'll just call it Disney stuff.
We'll call it Okay, I'll stop. We'll stop.
Great.
I'm not gonna bash Disney. I like Disney,
but it's hard. It's hard sometimes because they really did buy everything, but they did make better products. Look at, their stuff. Like they made a bunch of shit too. Okay.
Now, do you think Quentin Tarantino got his idea for Inglourious Basterds from this movie?
No, I'm sure he got it from some obscure fucking European movie. But this is great. That part right before that, where they have like the actual animation of Gremlins approaching the screen on it.
Yes,
that's tremendous. Man, how do they get them to look like they're all running like that at once?
That puppeteering, man.
They must be on some sort of rolling like flatbed thing.
Oh yeah. This movie. Can you imagine how much work this movie was?
Yeah.
Just wow. It's very odd though that like right after this had come out, like as far as like Dante, as far as his career, like it didn't become like the biggest career. I mean, he made some pretty big movies, but it started to go up well, I guess, because he got to. I think wasn't it Explorers that kind of like effed him in the A? I'm pretty sure. Know. I think it was. I think it was after this he did Explorers, and it wasn't a hit at all. And then that's how Hollywood works. It's like, oh man, you're only as good as your last movie. Because when Explorers came out, everybody's like, oh man, it's gonna be great, and then it wasn't. Even though people today are like, oh no, Explorers is great, it's not. And then nobody went to see it. It bombed at the box office, and then he just did random shit until, what the hell was it? Inner Space and stuff. And then The Burbs, and The Burbs, everybody thought was going to be a disaster, but it actually was a hit. So it's the first time that Stripe is actually like really fun to watch.
Except for when he shot that dude before.
Yeah. Probably deserved it. Gizmo's right in the middle. Poor thing.
Right. He's like, I am part of the love too. Now, I wonder, does Warner Brothers still own Gremlins, or did Disney somehow buy it somewhere?
No, yeah. Warner Brothers still owns it.
I know, I'm just saying. Yeah. You never know, dude. They might own it. They might buy it right out from under you. They might own this podcast.
For the very young ones watching this is a place that they called the mall.
Right.
They existed.
They saw it on Stranger Things. They know about it. And that Wonder Woman trailer that just came out.
I was at a mall today where I'd say at least 60% of the stores, maybe more, are gone.
Yeah.
It's depressing. It's so depressing because you're just looking around, and it's like, man, this place was happening at one point. Now it's just a ghost town.
Totally. And even, like the mall around me went through a phase like that, but like now it's filled back up with stores, but it has like no cool stores. Right. And it used to be fun to like, oh, it's Christmas time. Let me go and see what's at the GameStop. But now going to GameStop is such a terrible experience that I don't go to them anymore. And like, there's an FYE over here, but everything that they have is so like expensive and stuff. I'm just like, I can't spend money. I'm not 24 years old anymore. I'm way older than that now. When you're in your 20s and you go to FYE and you just buy like all sorts of shit like weekly because you have disposable income, but now you're older and you have like shit you actually have to spend money on.
Jab to E.T. right there. E.T. where he's hiding with all the dolls, but they put the E.T. Okay. Yeah. Just in case anybody didn't get that reference, it's an obvious one. Mm-hmm. Sorry. The Texas Chainsaw one's coming up. And like a horror site would turn this into a 3-page article on the Facebook and web.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that Gremlins made an homage to Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
But the headline would be, very vague, like Gremlins' new hit in theater plays homage to a classic horror film. As an Easter egg. Oh my God, you're doing it again.
He's riding a bike. It's so funny. It's like Kermit riding a bike. I have to laugh at it.
Really? Even Kermit riding a bike, you have to laugh at?
Yes, because he's got those long, tiny legs. You ask anybody, if they see Kermit riding a bike, it's funny. The best when he revs up the chainsaw, or the saw, where he's like, he's making a scene. Anyway, I just love this movie so much. I don't know if you could tell.
We can tell.
Dude, Billy is taking a hit, man.
Yeah.
Look at it. Ow. I fell back. Ow.
And like, dude, you're holding a baseball bat. Just hit the balls coming at you. Don't just duck from them.
Right. He's really like playing it up too much.
My God.
Now that is a stereo. They called it a ghetto blaster in some places.
Yeah, most people just called it a boombox.
Boombox, yes. Here.
Oh.
Oh gosh. This whole commentary is just, see that? Yeah, me too. Cool. Next.
Yeah, exactly. Great job.
Yeah. So yes, this was a massive crowd-pleasing scene. At least when I saw it in the theater. Everything about this though, it's just little things like this: the music,
Hmm.
the cuts, everything. It just movies were more of an event back then. I mean, I guess you can still get that with Marvel movies and stuff
Yeah,
today,
they're
but
definitely event movies, but
but like,
uh,
but they couldn't make at this pace, with this kind of stuff happening. It wouldn't be as frantic, or it'd be much more frantic now.
oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, even look at like the Child's Play movie that came out earlier this year. Like
Right.
I enjoyed that movie. I did,
Hmm.
but the chaotic scenes towards the end of that movie, which felt very much like Gremlins,
Right.
are very much that modern style of quick cuts and like crazy shit going on everywhere. You know.
Right. We have to hurry up. We have to. Yep. Ah, we'll
This
talk about
scene,
that on.
yeah, that fountain. When I was a kid, scared the crap out of me.
Oh, when he gets all melty.
Yeah.
That creepy. Yeah.
Have you ever seen like the pictures online? And I'm sure you have, but the pictures of the Gremlins, like the actual props now, are all like decrepit looking, melted,
Yeah.
horrifying, absolutely gross.
Yep. It's
Could
a
make
shame
its
they
own
can't
movie,
preserve them. Yeah.
right?
But yeah, that's latex. It just degrades over time. It's like if you buy a Halloween mask and just leave it sitting around, it's not gonna.
Right.
It's gonna fade over time.
Once again, abusing a real dog here. And again, this is another part that, like, all right, so Gizmo driving around in a little car. It's like,
Hmm.
how'd that happen? But we can't ask that, because if you ask it, the whole movie falls apart. Like, there are so many little threads that if you pull on one, you know.
It's a bad shot.
And he shot
I mean,
that other gremlin right in the face. And he can't hit this bigger face at all.
oh, that game Survive. Never played it. Clue I've played.
Survive. Yeah, well, Clue, everybody fucking played Clue. My son just got Clue Jr.
Oh, no
Very
kidding.
excited to play it because it is literally like the best board game. Clue, man. It's fucking great. I love it. And
had
the best board game turned into a movie.
which was also a box office dud,
Right.
but then it caught on VHS. Gizmo caca. Oh dear. Poor Stripe. Nah, Stripe was kind of a dick, so he kind of deserves it.
Yeah, he really does. He was shooting everyone. So,
Yeah. And fuck, I didn't even mention the score of this movie. Just how the noises that they make in the sounds that are made like it kind of sounds like, I guess, the was it is a Goldsmith's, like, his version of Gremlins, I'm assuming. You know what I
okay.
mean? Like the
No.
Gremlins noises, like the noises of the instruments sound like Gremlins in the songs, the score. You'll hear it. You'll see what I mean. Like the.
Okay.
I used to think that they were the actual Gremlins making noises, but it's not. Hear it?
Okay.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. That's not him. That's from the score.
Interesting.
Dickhead. Yeah.
Look at how even the bones deflate.
Yeah.
Kind of gross.
Now, this was kind of like the equivalent of how Facebook is now. When this scene ended here, everybody would go, "Oh, that's gonna be a sequel," because they zoomed in with the bubbles and stuff. Like, no. Even though there was a sequel years later. And the weird thing is, the Gremlins 2 came out the same year as the first Batman, and it didn't do that well, and it came out too late. You know, like 5 years after the first one, in the 80s especially, people didn't care. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Like, even nowadays, 5 years is a long time in between movies.
Same with Ghostbusters. Like, Ghostbusters 2 came out that same year, and nobody really gave a shit. Like, it still made money, but it wasn't like, oh my god, Ghostbusters 2. I mean, Ghostbusters 2 is not that good of a movie, but... Sold. Yeah. Gets his money back. See, the guy's nice. He's a good guy.
Whatever happened with that Gremlins cartoon? Did that ever come out? Or did that... It was announced earlier this year, wasn't it?
Effect.
No, it was announced earlier this year that there was a Gremlins animated series coming.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think it came out. Mandela.
I looked it up right here. Gremlins animated series is coming from Warner Media from July, and other ones from way back in February. It's a prequel cartoon. Gremlins Secret of the Mogwai is what it's going to be called. And it's set in 1920s Shanghai. Dude, that is exactly the shit that I just predicted earlier this fucking commentary. I was like, if they made this movie now, there'd have to be some sort of prequel that explains it all. There it is. It's honestly in development now.
Speaking of, the end of this movie, when he walks away with the Gizmo, when you were younger, did you cry?
No.
No?
No, I was just happy it was over. I was scared.
Oh, really?
I was a little kid.
You're such a wimp.
Man, and that is actually a Mandela effect, I think, that I've read, is that people remember there being a Gremlins 3. And there wasn't one.
No, there's never a Gremlins 3.
I know there was never one.
They probably just saw that sizzle reel of the thing that the person created. See, this is the scene that kills that's the line that kills everybody in the theater naturally.
Nobody remembers seeing this in the theater but you. No one.
No one? That's probably because they're all dead.
They're all dead. Actually, when you type in Mandela Effect and Gremlins, the only thing that comes up is Spike or Stripe.
No, there's a... whatchamacallit with there's somebody made it's probably on YouTube, like a Gremlins 3 short where they put themselves in like the Batman movie and a whole bunch of different movies.
Yeah, I think I remember it.
Yeah.
Vaguely.
And it was good. It was funny. I thought it was really well done. I mean, they were CG and stuff, but it still worked for what it was, but I love it when he calls it goodbye, Woof Woof.
I like how it's still Christmas at this one house because the rest of the town is all fucking corpses.
It seems like a happy ending, and I guess from part 2, I guess Billy's okay, but
yeah. Oh, this is actually a painting, right?
Yeah, it's a matte painting. You gotta think. What happened?
That's what I'm saying.
What's the after effect?
The town looks normal, but dude, all these people are dead in these houses. Like the only 2 police in town are dead. They died in a car accident, and like his neighbors dead. The old lady who terrorized him at the bank dead.
Judge Reinhold.
and they just skirt the entire responsibility of telling the weighty story at the end. They're just like, nope, don't worry about those guys. Don't worry about it, kids. It's all good. It's all good.
There they go. Howie Mandel. You know, it's funny. Howie Mandel on one of his comedy specials said, "Hey, here's Gizmo. Here's Bobby," and he said, "Here's this other thing. You hear that?" And everybody's like, "Yeah." He goes, 3 characters, 3 paychecks, 1 fucking voice.
Well, we made it to the end.
We did, unfortunately. I'm so sorry, people, for laughing throughout half of this movie, but
at any rate,
it's a fun goddamn movie, and I think everybody should watch it.
It's a perfect movie.
Every Christmas, yeah.
Thank you for listening. Merry Christmas. And follow us on Facebook and also on Twitter. You can find me at New Jersey Nick, where I am constantly complaining about pro wrestling. And Jack is
at Tweet Jack Built.
At Tweet Jack Built, where he talks occasionally about the annoying things that people do on Facebook.
Facebook and Twitter.
Dude, perfect example today of the things that you talk about. Quentin Tarantino, according to bloodydisgusting.com. Oh, Quentin Tarantino has finished the concept for Kill Bill 3. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, he said multiple times he's probably not going to make it. Stop talking about it. You're a horror site. Why are you even talking about it?
They got to stop. Everything is hearsay anymore, it seems.
Right. Anyway, we got to wrap this up because the credits don't last much longer.
But don't forget, Make It Shine by Quarter Flash.
There it is. Okay.
That was an actual band, Quarter Flash.
Good night.
No.
It's not over Gremlins yet. Mega Madness.
Mega Madness. Super.
I fucking love that. I fucking love it.
It's a good song.
Dude, they make fun of Walt Disney in this movie, and then they show a Walt Disney movie. Think about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Disney has a sense of humor, unlike you.
Ugh.
You can't laugh at the Gremlins.
I laughed at the part with the puppet. Okay, this is really the end now. We got to stop talking.
It is. Yeah, it says Gremlins. Did you ever see the end scene after the credits?
Is there one? There's not one.
No, there's not one. Mandela Effect.
Okay, good night.
See ya.